Have you ever watched your chart explode at 10 a.m. New York time? 1 minute, the market is quiet. The next minute, candles jump, spreads widen, and your stop is in danger. What changed? A single line hits the newsfeed. PMI. Most traders see a number and panic. The smart ones already know what it means and what to do. PMI is not random noise. It's a fast signal about real economic activity. Above 50, businesses say things are expanding. Below 50, they say conditions are cooling. A surprise can flip risk on or risk off in seconds. If you have ever been caught in that spike, this lesson is for you. I will show you how to read PMI, how to spot the traps around the release, and how to turn that 10 a.m. chaos into an edge. Welcome to today's video on the ISM Manufacturing and Services PMI. In this lesson, we'll break down how these monthly surveys give traders one of the fastest snapshots of the US economy. You'll learn why the 50 line is the dividing point between growth and contraction, why services PMI often carries more weight than manufacturing, and how a single surprise at 10 a.m. can shift stocks, bonds, and currencies in seconds. By the end of this video, you'll see PMI not as just another report, but as an early signal of economic direction, and you'll know how to use it to prepare your trades with confidence. So what exactly is the PMI? PMI stands for Purchasing Managers Index. Every month, the Institute for Supply Management asks business managers across the country about what's really happening on the ground. Are they getting more new orders? Are they hiring or cutting jobs? Are suppliers delivering on time? Are inventories piling up or running low? Instead of waiting weeks for official government data, PMI gives us a quick snapshot of the economy, almost in real time. That's why traders love it. It's like getting the inside view from the people who are actually running the factories, placing the orders, and feeling the pressure in supply chains. Think of it this way. If the managers say business is picking up, that's often a sign the wider economy is expanding. If they say things are slowing down, it can be an early warning before the slowdown shows up in GDP or corporate earnings. That's what makes PMI such a powerful leading indicator. It doesn't just describe the past, it points us toward what might be coming next. Now here's something important. There isn't just one PMI. We actually have two main reports. The first is the ISM Manufacturing PMI. This one comes out on the first business day of the month and covers factories. Companies making cars, electronics, machinery, chemicals, you name it. Manufacturing used to be the backbone of the US economy, so this report still gets a lot of attention. But today, services are even bigger. That's where the second report comes in, the ISM Services PMI. It's released a few days later and covers everything from healthcare and finance to transportation, retail, and tech. Since services make up around 70% of the US economy, traders usually treat this report as even more important. Together, these two surveys give us a complete picture. Manufacturing shows us how goods and supply chains are doing, while services tell us about the broader consumer-driven economy. If both are strong, growth looks solid. If both start sliding, that's often a warning sign the whole economy might be losing momentum. Here's the part every trader needs to know. PMI is built around one simple line, 50. When the index is above 50, it means managers are reporting growth and expansion. When it falls below 50, it signals contraction. And the further the number moves away from that line, the stronger the signal. For example, if manufacturing PMI comes in at 55, it tells us factories are busy, orders are flowing, and the economy is pushing forward. But if it drops to 45, that's a clear sign that activity is slowing down and traders start thinking about recession risks. That's why the 50 line acts almost like an on-off switch for market sentiment. Just a small surprise, say the forecast was 52, but the number comes out at 48, can flip the entire mood of the market within seconds. So why does PMI matter so much for traders? Because it's forward-looking. It doesn't just describe what happened last quarter, it gives a real-time clue about where the economy might be heading. If PMI jumps higher than expected, traders start pricing in stronger growth, better earnings, and maybe even tighter monetary policy. That usually lifts stocks, strengthens the dollar, and pushes bond yields up. But if PMI falls below 50 or comes in much weaker than forecasts, markets flip the other way. Stocks sell off, investors rush into bonds for safety, and currencies tied to growth, like the dollar, can drop. A great example was during the pandemic in 2020. PMI numbers collapsed well below 40, and markets reacted instantly, even before GDP reports confirmed the recession. That's how powerful this single survey can be. Now let's talk about how you can actually use PMI in your own trading. First, timing. The report always comes out at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's right in the middle of the US session, and it often creates a burst of volatility. If you're a day trader, be careful about opening positions just before the release. The spread can widen, price can whip around, and stops can get hit in seconds. Second, look at the trend, not just one number. A single report might surprise. But what really matters is the direction over several months. If PMI is rising steadily above 50, that's a strong backdrop for bullish trades. If it's falling month after month, especially into contraction territory, that's a warning to play more defense. And third, always connect PMI with the bigger picture. On its own, it's useful. But when you line it up with jobs data, inflation, and Fed policy, you start to see the full macro puzzle. That's when you can position yourself with much more confidence. Let's bring this to life with a couple of examples. Take a month when the ISM Services PMI came in much weaker than expected. Instead of the forecast of 52, it dropped to 47. Within minutes, the S&P 500 turned red. Bond yields fell, and the dollar slipped because traders suddenly worried that the largest part of the US economy, services, was slowing down fast. On the flip side, when manufacturing PMI surprises to the upside, say jumping from 49 to 54, markets often cheer. Stocks rally on hopes of stronger earnings, and growth-sensitive assets get a boost. Even central bankers pay attention. Jerome Powell has mentioned the ISM surveys as part of the Fed's watch list because they capture real-time business activity before official reports confirm it. That's why analysts publish PMI previews. And sometimes, markets start moving even before the release, based purely on expectations. For us as traders, these reactions are a clear reminder. PMI isn't just a number. It's a spark that can ignite the market mood for the entire session. PMI day can feel just as intense and just as dangerous. The moment the number drops at 10 a.m., markets can explode in both directions. Stocks might jump, then sink, then rip higher again. All in the space of a single candle. Traders who try to chase that first move usually end up on the wrong side. Another mistake is focusing only on the headline figure. Sure, the overall PMI number matters, but markets also react to the details, new orders, employment, supplier deliveries. Sometimes the headline looks fine, but the components tell a very different story. And that's what smart money pays attention to. And remember, big players love to hunt liquidity in those first minutes. A breakout that looks perfect on the release can reverse instantly and trap anyone who jumped too soon. That's why seasoned traders often wait, watch the initial chaos, and only step in once the real direction starts to show. In the next videos, we'll keep exploring the other major indicators that move markets, from PCE, which is the Fed's preferred inflation measure, to GDP growth, employment, manufacturing surveys, and housing data. Each one adds another piece to the big picture, helping you connect the economy with what you see on your charts. And that's exactly the mission of ComLucro. Our goal is to give traders the knowledge they need to make better decisions in the market. Every video, every course, and every piece of content we share is built with that in mind. Clear, practical information that helps you grow step by step as a trader. On this channel, you'll also find complete courses on smart money concepts, technical analysis for day traders, and trading psychology. Because trading is not just about the charts, it's also about how you think and how you manage risk. We also bring lessons and insights from world-class traders and coaches like David Paul, Alexander Elder, Tom Hugard, Mark Douglas, Al Brooks, Larry Williams, and many others who have shaped the way we understand the markets. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found the content helpful or engaging, please give it a like, as this helps the video reach more traders like you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest insights on the markets and practical trading strategies. Sharing this video with your friends or on your social networks can make a big difference and helps our community become stronger. Now, if you want to go even deeper and get access to exclusive content, early video releases, and extra tools to support your journey, consider becoming a member of the ComLucro Trader community right here on YouTube. It's a way to support our work and a smart investment in your own development. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.